my name's Simon Mitchell, Managing Director of Southern Gold. I'm going to give the very quick presentation today, 10 minutes max. So this is a very quick tour. Hope to give you enough of a feel for the company to make you want to ask more questions. Follow up with me at the Minds and Money event in due course, and I'll be able to fill you in on the details. So you can see our front cover, we don't have a picture of gold bars, we have a picture of a drill rig. That's very much what we're about. We are first principles explorers, boots on the ground culture, and we like to drill a lot of targets. And that's essentially what we're doing in Korea at the moment. So flicking forward, what's the high level summary of the company? We're basically a precious metals explorer focused on South Korea. We don't have any other projects in other parts of the world. We're principally in South Korea because of the geology. That's point one, and it's an important point. It's an underappreciated part of the earth. We think it's got fantastic potential for the discovery of first-class or tier one epithermal projects, particularly in the southwest of the country. We've assembled a team of very good geos with the right culture, mostly ex-Ivanhoe. We believe we're in a fantastic jurisdiction, first world country, fully developed, mining code, low tax rates, brilliant place to operate. And we have quite a portfolio of projects there you can see highlighted in red. At least 9 projects, 100% owned and growing, and a couple of projects in joint venture. Project generation work in the background going on, and we're actively drilling. Pulling it all together, we've got a tight capital structure, a low valuation, and we're fully funded. So we believe corporately we're in good shape and in the right spot. Now, just high level, what's the context here? We're a Northeast Asia gold play, sort of sandwiched in between China and Japan. You can see I've highlighted the fact that world-class deposits have been found in the Jiangdong Peninsula of China, and of course, world-class epithermal projects been found in Japan, and Korea sort of sits in between the two. It is a bit of a hybrid, if you will, of the two geologies. You can see there I've highlighted that there's a couple of Canadian juniors exploring in Japan, Irving Resources and Japan Gold. They've got market cap some multiples of ours and are backed by some of the major companies. So I believe it's just a matter of time before South Korea gets the same kind of attention. And there's a bit of history to get through. I'll try and spend 60 seconds on this. It's important to understand that it was not only just recently that the country was recognized for epithermal mineralization. So this is something that's, in the global exploration business, a relatively new development and perhaps isn't well recognized globally. Korea and Japan were big producers of gold in ancient times, perhaps forgotten today. We've gone in there, we're doing a big exploration program. Doug Kerwin, who's one of the Ivanhoe guys behind this story, he was involved in Korea all the way back to 1988 where he made these discoveries. So he was able to prove that there were epithermal projects in the country. And in fact, the Eureka Moment, as I call it, was when they made some discoveries with the epithermal projects in the southwest of the country. And here are some examples. They made discoveries at Unsan, Moisan, and Gasado Island. They found bonanza-grade gold and silver, and they even started mining one of the projects. And you can see there from the gold grades, when we talk bonanza grades, we mean bonanza. That was direct shipping ore, by the way. So when they dug that gold out of the ground, they put it straight into drums and off to Ellis Nico for processing. An important component of the context here is that Ivanhoe made the discoveries in Mongolia, including the Oyu Tolgoi deposit, which was, of course, large and world-class. And so the Ivanhoe team was pulled out of the country, the mine was sold to a Korean private interest, and no one has really had a good look at Korea ever since. So what we've done is we've reassembled largely the old Ivanhoe team that was involved in the country back in the day, and they're now working for Southern Gold. You can see there people like Doug Kerwin, Craig Panther, Cyril Orsich, and so on. Very much Ivanhoe DNA in terms of our corporate culture and the emphasis on getting on the ground, drilling targets, and really turning projects over. And that's what we're all about. We've developed up our own Korean team organically in the country, and they've been executing the projects as we speak, which includes this drilling. You see here on slide 7, 4 examples of 4 different locations which were drilled. We're finished at the Biopsim Pro project, currently drilling at Dokon and Afei, seeing some really interesting rocks at Afei, which we'll be announcing shortly. And this is an emerging, evolving situation in Korea. So very live. We're generating a lot of projects and we're quite excited by the opportunity. And really going to the heart of what the quality of the opportunity is about, this slide is perhaps the most important. We're doing what's called active project generation. We're in the Canadian model, the project generator model. But this is a little bit different for the fact that when we go out with our field teams, we're identifying new mineral systems every 4 to 6 weeks of field work. That's an astounding rate of new discovery of systems, which in the main have not been drill tested, and in some cases have never really been mapped or sampled on surface. So we are literally walking up to drill targets day one, hitting these things on the ground and generating very high quality drill targets through this process. And sitting behind all the ASX releases we put out about the different projects, sitting behind that is a portfolio of 100 targets in country. So you can see, I've got a couple of examples there, but you can see the sort of things that we look at, where we've got over 1 kilometre of strike extent, we're getting good gold grades, good arsenic grades, good trends, consistent ore grade mineralisation on that kind of scale, and never been drilled before. So quite an astounding situation in terms of exploration. We try and bring that together on the corporate level. I mean, what I've been talking about there is largely on the left-hand side of that corporate organisational diagram, which is Southern Gold and its subsidiary business, where the majority of our projects are. We do have a joint venture with the Bluebird Merchant Ventures Group on 2 of our projects. So it's a 50-50 joint venture. Interestingly enough, you can see there that the enterprise value in London is double ours in Australia, notwithstanding our much larger asset base in terms of our broader, more core business, which would imply actually a negative value to our exploration, which is an astounding arbitrage value situation. Looking at the statistics on the left-hand side, you can see there we've got a relatively tight capital structure and 128 million shares on issue. We've got an enterprise value of around about US $10 million, so we are definitely micro-cap. Got fantastic quality shareholders. You can see Metal Tiger were a recent addition. They currently have about 17% of the company. They underwrote the last raise, well not underwrote, but cornerstone the last raising that we did, where we raised $4 million. And all of those cornerstone investors have been supporters of our raisings in the last sort of 18 months or so. So nearly half, or just over half of our share issuance is held by very sticky hands and with people who are very supportive of what we're trying to do in country. So what do we expect to see in the next sort of 12 months or so? You can see there with our drill pipeline, this is our news flow. It's very drill heavy. We've got some results coming out from projects that we've drilled in the last couple of months. We're drilling at 2 other projects as we speak, and we've got a full pipeline taking us to the balance of the calendar year without any problem. And we've even got visibility on drilling into 2021. And this is being executed largely by our Korean team. Even notwithstanding the COVID situation, Korea is still very much open for business. They're doing a lot of work on the ground out there. And this will keep our news flow very healthy during the course of the next 12 months. So perhaps a little bit of an unusual situation for a junior explorer, where we've been able to maintain momentum as a corporate group, as well as having people out on the ground drilling these targets and hopefully confirming discoveries. Projects to watch out for are the results we get from Afei. This is a different type of project to our low sulfidation epithermal systems. And we might surprise people on the upside there as to some of the variety of targets that we will unfold in Korea, perhaps not recognised internationally at this point. So it's a first-class, exciting exploration opportunity, and I believe one of the better plays out there on the ASX, particularly when you take into account the fact that it's got the low enterprise valuation. Anyway, thank you for your time. I hope that you will log in and make some meetings with me on the Mines and Money meeting system. And I look forward to giving you guys all a bit more detail and perhaps drill down into some of these projects and give you a closer feel for what we're up to on the ground. Thanks very much.